I like to shoot my videos out of the house. Oh, ouch. That's going to be tricky from now on. Oh, I just slipped my foot down the stair. Luckily, we are allowed to leave the house for exercise reasons, one form of exercise per day. And I've got to try and get Jasper to do some exercise as well. So I'm thinking now is a good time to go for a short bike ride in the countryside. But we've got to wait for Jasper to finish his pudding, of course. It's kind of amazing how quickly life has changed for everybody in the UK, actually. I mean, I think it's probably, they should have done this a few weeks ago. You know, the analogy that I use is it's a little bit like putting out a fire, right? You know, if you catch the fire right at the beginning, then you can just put it out with a handheld fire extinguisher in a few seconds, and it's easy and it does virtually no damage, and you know, life can go back to normal nice and quickly. Or you could let the fire sort of take hold, and you wait and you wait and you wait, and then you have to ring the fire brigade and get a fire engine over, and then when that's finished, rebuild the house. So there we go. This was obviously shot the day after the lockdown was announced in the UK, and not a moment too soon, if you ask me. You know what this reminds me of a little bit? Game of Thrones. Because just like Game of Thrones, they have this sort of the winter, and the unique thing about Game of Thrones is winter in that world is lasts for an indeterminate amount of time. It will end, but you don't know when. Not too near the edge or you get caught in the gully like that. This is our exercise for the day. Thank God we can still leave the house for exercise. Right, time to push, I think. It's a bit steep, isn't it? At least the sun is shining, although of course that is a bit of a mixed blessing because it means that everyone headed out to the beach in the last weekend and various other tourist spots with their families, and then the government caught sight of that and was like, yeah, everybody stay home. One piece of exercise per day with your own household, which in this case is me and Jasper. We're not cycling for very long. I have to get him out of the house, you know. Small kids, they've got energy to burn. Apparently sales of exercise machines are through the roof at the moment. Not surprised, actually. I mean, thank God we've got a running machine. So, because obviously I couldn't go for a run with Jasper, and I've obviously got him with me during the day for the foreseeable future. So, I do have to kind of, Jasper, not on that side of the road, monkey. I think we're going to turn round in a minute, okay, Jasper, before we get too far down this huge hill. He's not doing badly as our Jasper. This is his first time cycling on a road. Okay, so it's a single track lane, but it is still a road. Did you enjoy that? Yeah? Should we do it again another day? Good. Well, that worked out very well, actually. It was kind of a bit of a proof of concept. We only did 1.5 miles. I just wanted to make sure that with the reduced traffic, Jasper would be safe enough in a road environment, because I don't want to go to parks because there are people in parks and there are playgrounds in parks, and telling a 6-year-old that they just can't use the playground because it's closed it's just a recipe for an argument. You're not going to understand. So I figure I need to stay in the local area, and unfortunately when it comes to the local area around here, you are just limited to country lanes. On the upside, they're extremely quiet today. It's just been incredibly quiet. I hope all you guys are doing well in this new open prison called the UK. I'm obviously going to be, I've decided, you know, there's no point doing great big videos that take a week to edit and then I put them up, and, you know, because in a week, I mean, like literally a week ago, they hadn't closed the school, so they just were in the process of closing the schools. So, what am I on about? No, that's complete nonsense. A week ago, they hadn't even like announced any kind of school closures at any point. As far as everyone was concerned, we were just going to carry on regardless. All the shops were open. You could still sit and eat in McDonald's. McDonald's is closed now. They did for a while flirt with takeaways, and then it's just absolutely unprecedented. And I think the key thing here is for everybody to keep their distance and make sure that there's absolutely no way that it can spread. And then in theory, in about 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, we should be able to start easing things off again as the number of cases drops. And maybe it'd take a bit longer than that. But even so, the better we stick to this sort of lockdown sort of thing, the quicker we can get back to normal, which I'm desperate to do because the weather is stunning. I would have loved to go to like a park and have a proper cycle with Soph and Jasper at the weekend, but it just didn't, it didn't happen, and it's not going to for the foreseeable future. I have to say as well, actually, I really do feel sorry for people in apartments and small flats, especially in cities where they can't, I would imagine the doomsday preppers in America, they probably haven't even noticed. Okay, right, so this was obviously not much of a EV focused vlog post. It was more of a just sort of like, well, this is life now, isn't it? We are going to try and do some more EV related content, although news around that subject could be somewhat limited at the moment, given that most car factories seem to be closed, including the Fremont Tesla factory. Although Elon Musk is of course still busy because SpaceX is continuing to build its new Starship at breakneck speed, or perhaps I should clarify, continuing to build its Starship factory at breakneck speed. I think the DM2 mission, I don't think that's going to get postponed. It will do if either of the two astronauts get coronavirus or are suspected of potentially getting coronavirus. Maybe they've been exposed. Then if that happens, then yes, obviously it will be postponed. But provided that doesn't happen, I'm pretty sure they won't postpone it, because at the end of the day, the International Space Station's not going anywhere. It's still up there, it's still got crew, it still needs more crew, it needs more supplies. They can't just not launch rockets. They can maybe delay it a little bit, but ultimately they've got to get more people up there. They've actually extended that mission now, so it's sort of officially going to be a longer stay at the International Space Station for the first ever Crew Dragon to take people. Really looking forward to that in mid-May. Obviously I will get lots of opportunities to cover that. I'm gonna try and do more of a sort of a daily thing with the videos, because what else have I got to do? Of course, I am going to have to juggle that with homeschooling Jasper, so bear with me if the videos are quite a bit on the shorter side. I'm going to try not to talk too much about viral stuff that's going on, because honestly, I think everyone's heard enough of it, and we all just need to sort of get on and make the most of life. I am going to try and harvest as much of this beautiful solar energy as possible. And maybe this would be a good opportunity for me to try to solar power my vlog for a week or two. I don't know, I'll have a think about that. I need to run the numbers, because I don't have a huge amount of solar panels. So when the weather's like this, fine, we get loads of sunlight, loads of energy, but on an overcast day it's really tricky, especially because editing on a laptop is quite a power hungry activity. I could just clean the bird poo off here. Probably get about 20% more power in one go. What wonderful ideas have you guys got for keeping little kids entertained around the house? And for keeping yourself entertained around the house, for that matter. I mean, yeah, you've got all the online stuff, but it's not very active. And on that note, I think it's time for me to say goodbye for the day. I hope you enjoyed today's vlog post. If you have, remember to like it, share it, and subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you don't already. And I will see you in the next episode of my daily vlog. Although, just to get things going, there will actually be a 2-day break before the next episode. Anyway, bye.